someone could put posters up outside the cafe without you hearing anything.
Anthony, we did something. Yeah, and we rushed out straight away.
But it was too late. They were already up.
Does anybody know where Gillian is?
No.
Before she went, she asked if she could borrow my library card.
Library card?
Yeah. Oh, come on, yous lot. We can't just sit around feeling sorry for ourselves. While we're waiting for Gillian, does anyone know a good joke?
No.
Neither do I.
Hey, wait a minute. I know a good one.
Oh, come on, David.
Where'd you wear your pie? What's that, Dave? Where'd you wear your pie, Anthony?
A pie?
Over the rainbow.
What?
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high.
Wow. This is Paradise Park, Scott. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. It looks like there's loads of things we can look at, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, aye, and we mustn't forget, Gillian wants us to say hello to Archie.
Oh, yeah. Who is Archie?
I don't know, don't you?
No, I thought you knew what you meant. I don't even know what he looks like.
All I know is his name's Archie, and he's a bit bald.
Bald?
Yeah, and his name's Archie.
Hey, do you think?
Come on. Hey, Anthony, come here a second.
All right, Tom.
Can my hat back, please?
Yeah, all right, but what's it for?
We're going to make parrot hats.
We've already got one.
Yeah, but these are better because they've got parrots on. Right, you just get a piece of strong cardboard and then just draw around the outline of a hat on it. Just draw it all the way around it. Like that. Right, and then just get something smaller like a saucepan lid. And you just put that on so you have like about ½ inch gap all the way around. And you draw around that. There you go. And you just get a parrot shape.
But what if you can't draw a parrot?
Well, you just like copy it out the book and just get the outline shape.
I suppose so, yeah.
And you put a parrot down and just draw all the way around him, around his beak.
You could use anything now, couldn't you? Use spiders or
Mice,
your
yeah.
names or anything like that.
Yeah.
couldn't
And then just draw around the same there. And then you just cut it all out and you score along the bottom of the parrot like I've done there. And you fold them up on a treddy. But you can decorate them like, and you can use feathers and stick them underneath to make like the tails. Like that.
This one's a bit big for me though, isn't it,
Yeah.
Sal?
Well, you can make your own and make it whatever size you
Yeah,
want to.
all right then. Pass that pen, please.
Here you
Thanks. Hey, Craig, why are we both doing a recipe together? I mean, you're no better a cook than I am.
We can cook and this is dead easy. It's called Mushroom Meadow.
Mushroom Meadow? Why is it called Mushroom Meadow?
Just when it's finished, it looks like a mushroom full of meadows.
You mean a meadow full of mushrooms?
Yeah, and it looks really good at parties.
Go on then, how do we make it?
You get ½ a pint of green jelly and you chop it up.
Does it have to be green?
Yeah, 'cause you get the mushrooms growing in red grass.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get a banana and you cut it up into small parts. And you get a biscuit like this, which is sugar-coated, as it looks like the top of a mushroom. And you get that and you butter the bottom of it and put it on the top of the banana. So you make these while I just put this on the plate.
Do you have to put the thick side up on the plate then?
Yeah, so it stands up better.
Shall I start doing these then?
Yeah.
Hey, why was the mushroom always getting invited to parties?
I don't know.
Because he was a fun guy to be with. Hey, Craig, there ain't much room on this plate, is there?
Oh, you're such a funny man, you, Dave.
Because of me brilliant jokes, though, isn't it?
Oh, but I'm better joker than you, though. Look at this, I'm winning. Oh, no, I'm not. One more should do.
Hey, what's all that chocolate for over there, anyway?
Oh, that's just for decoration, because it makes it look good. Yeah, look.
Oh, yeah, you just sprinkle it on top and it makes all, like, little spots on it and that,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Hey, they'll be really impressed with this, won't they?
Well, that's one thing. They won't be impressed, but they won't ask us to do another recipe. Yay! How's it going? Oh, look what I found. What is it? Oh, well, it's a book all about the history of Oswald that I got at the library. Took the librarians ages to find it, then I'm waiting in the freezing cold
Jill?
for the bus.
Jill?
Running up the hill. What?
How will it help us?
Oh, well, it might tell us about who owns the cafe or if it's built on sacred lands or something.
Yeah, and if you dig it up, it'll be bad luck and all these ghosts and spirits will come after you.
Exactly.
Gillian, you're a genius.
Anthony, thank you. Anyway, where's the others?
Craig and David are doing a rest because, like they said, it'd take their minds off it. And Michelle and Scott haven't come back from Paradise Park.
Oh, nice.
Look, he's a bit about our cafe. So, David, can you tell me a bit about the different type of birds you got here at Paradise Park?
We've got hundreds of different species, ranging from things like penguins and cranes, birds of prey, particularly birds of prey like eagles, which you fly free. We also have things like otters, European otters. We specialise in the European mammals. And as you can see, we've got parrots like the New Zealand kea that's sitting on your head and probing your ear at the moment.
How do the birds cope with the British weather?
Very well. A lot of people seem to think that parrots in particular must have warm climates, but they don't. I mean, the kea on your head there comes from New Zealand, a very high altitude part of New Zealand, the mountainous areas, and they love the cold weather. In fact, snow is their favourite weather.
What's the main aim of Paradise Park?
Well, Paradise Park really is committed to breeding and conserving all the endangered species that we work with. And we work with zoos around the world, and we're often sending birds to other zoos around the world and back here. And we also send birds to release back into the wild.
Paradise Park is the home of the Parrot Trust. What is the Parrot Trust?
Well, the World Parrot Trust is, as its name suggests, dedicated to the parrots, and it really is there for all aspects of parrots. It tries to help conserve the birds in the wild, it tries to find out just how many birds are in the wild, and it also wants to make the life of every individual pet parrot better, just to make people more aware of what their birds need.
Say, what birds would you reckon that are best for pets?
Well, first I say to you, if you want a parrot, think very, very carefully and very seriously about it, because a parrot takes up a lot of your time. Parrots are social birds. So if you have a single parrot, you've got to be its mate, its companion, its partner for the rest of its life. It takes a lot of time. But then I'd say to you, well, if you must have a pet parrot, try and make it a bird that's been bred in captivity in Great Britain. Don't take a bird that's been plucked from the wild, put into a cage, and it'll have a very miserable, very unhappy life. And it's the trade in wild parrots that we really are trying to stop.
If I was to buy a parrot, how would I know that I've been bred in this country and not imported?
Well, the best way to tell, because most captive-bred parrots will wear a closed metal ring on their legs. Not all of them will, but a lot of them will. The breeders put them on when the birds are young. If you go into a pet shop and you see a parrot in a cage and it immediately screams and shouts and runs to the back of the cage, it's almost certainly been taken from the wild and it just won't settle down. You want a bird that when you go in is confident, comes up to you, wants to be stroked, wants to be touched and talked to.
What's the rarest birds bred at Paradise Park?
I think the rarest parrot we've bred is the Buffin's macaw, which you can see two of in the aviary here right now.
Brilliant.
Look, it's here in black and white. Royalty gave us the cafe in the 16th century, so some American tycoon can't just come and take it away.
Hey, Gillian, you're back. What's all this? What's the book? Well, it's a book I got from the library all about the history of Otterspool, and it explains that the cafe was built in the 15th century, and in the 16th century it was handed over to I Don't You by royalty.
Hey, that's terrific, that. That means you can't take the cafe away to America.
Well, say it.
We've won.
No, we haven't. How can we prove it? Just because it's written down doesn't mean to say anyone won't believe us.
Sally's right. That's it. Might as well start packing. I know something that might work. There's a lot of famous people that come from Liverpool. And if they found out that a piece of Liverpool was being shipped to America, I'm sure they'd help us.
Yeah, but how would it work?
Right, there's a lot to be done. Craig, you, Sally and Anthony get a list together of all the celebrities' phone numbers and phone them. And me and Dave will start to make the placards.
How many otters have you got here at Paradise Park?
Well, we've got 5 Asian otters, this family group here, mum, dad and 3 babies. And we've also got 4 European otters. Again, they're mum, dad and 2 babies.
So what's the difference between the European otter and the Asian otter?
Well, the main difference is the size. I mean, these Asian otters are the smallest of all the otters. And they weigh no more than about 10 or 11 pounds. The European otters, on the other hand, are much bigger, and they weigh about 30 to 35 pounds.
Were these otters bred in captivity?
Yes, 3 of them were bred here, and the other 2 were bred at other zoos in the UK.
How often do you feed them?
Well, our otters get fed about 4 times every day. The reason that they're fed so often is because otters are very active creatures, and they like to feed regularly because they burn up the food very quickly. So they have a good feed, then they have a lot of activity, then they sleep for maybe an hour or 2, then they come out and have another feed and do the same thing all over again.
So what do you feed them on?
Well, we feed them on things like whiting, various other fish like that as well. Also meats, liver, heart, mincemeat. They like all the sort of carnivorous things that most carnivores do like.
Is the otter under threat?
The Asian otter, probably not. but the European otter, it certainly is. The European otter, I'm afraid, is losing its habitat very quickly. Rivers are getting polluted. They're also getting, all the banks are being taken away and they're made all sort of straight, no trees and roots and nest in. And the European otter is having quite a hard time.
Yeah. Do any of these otters get returned to the wild?
Not the Asian otters, because they're not, of course, native to Great Britain. The European otters are. And we're breeding European otters for release schemes around the country. Not actually in Cornwall itself, because we're lucky in having quite a few otters in Cornwall right now. But, of course, the rest of the country is not as lucky as we are.
Yeah. Oh, they're cute.
They're lovely, aren't they?
Yeah.
And if you watch carefully, you'll see they use their hands when they're feeding. They pick up their food quite often.
He's grabbing it.
Exactly the same way that we would hold an apple or a banana, something like that. That's another difference between the European otters. They use their nose. They don't use their hands hardly at all.
They make a funny little noise, don't they?
A sort of a piping call. It's their contact call. If they're running around the enclosure and all in different areas, they'll make a great deal of sort of piping noise because they're communicating with each other. They say, I'm over here, Dad. That's all right. I know you're over there, dear. You know? And that's how they get on.
So these are all like one big family?
Yes, we've got Dad's the big one on the rock there. Mum's here, and then there's 3 babies, 2 girls and a boy.
Not in. Well, who's next then, Sal?
Scylla.
Scylla. Let's have a look. See, bus. There is Craig. That's the number there. Good luck. Tell her I've got all the records.
Have you?
No, but me dad has.
Oh, well, can I speak to Sil, please? My name's Craig Busham, why don't you? You're all right. She's gone to get it. Must be maid or secretary. Oh, are you, Sil? Well, my name's Craig Busham. You don't know me, but I'm in a gang from Liverpool. We're all coffee, which isn't really coffee, but then it's going to be shipped to America. And well, Anthony's got all your records, and I always watch Blind Dates, so we were wondering. Sorry? You what? Not Scylla. All right, thanks. She's going to get it hair done.
No, don't give up. Who's next then, Sal?
Is it a tennis player?
Did Arno's hear Miss Tennis plays from Liverpool?
Not yet, but there might be one day.
Hi, Craig.
I think I need some tips. What's the difference between short tennis and ordinary tennis?
Well, the first thing is the racket. If you look at this racket, it's much smaller than a tennis racket. Okay, so that's much easier for you to play with. If you look at the ball, you've got a short tennis ball. That's nice and squishy, right, and soft. This is a hard one, which travels much faster. So the ball's much easier.
Yeah.
And the court is much smaller. You know what a badminton court's like, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, a short tennis court's the same size as a badminton court. So that's much smaller than a tennis court. And the net is much lower. So it's easier to hit the ball over the net. Right?
Well, how old do you have to be to learn to play short tennis?
Well, anybody can play short tennis, really, but ideally, I suppose, between, say, 5 and 8. But Nicky, who's here, Nicky Crawley, he started when he was 2.
What's the reason for short tennis?
It's much easier than tennis. If you went out on a tennis court when you were 5 years old with this great big racket, you wouldn't be able to see over the net and you could hardly see your opponent down the other end. So it's a much easier game to play.
Do you think you'll have any British champions?
Oh, I hope so. We've got thousands of people playing short tennis. So one day we're going to have one, yes.
Are there any short tennis competitions held?
Yes, again, every county has a short tennis competition programme. So at every sports centre or through your school, you'll get the information about it. You never know, Craig. One day you might win a match.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, that's my trophy.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Come on. First team to 11 with 2 clear points wins. Everybody ready? Play.
Let's play!
Short tennis?
Because it's fun, I really like it. And also it's a good way of learning long tennis.
Short tennis easy, Karen?
It's hard at the beginning, but it gets easier as you go along.
So what do you think about short tennis?
Thrill!
All right, it's just a ball game. We play jackpot, lose or draw.
Well, David, we've got the cards, so what should we write?
What about hands off our calf or keep our cafe in Liverpool?
Hey, yeah, that's brilliant, something like that.
But what are we going to do with them when we're finished?
Well, some of us could take them round town to let the people see what we were doing, and we can get people to sign our petition.
Hey, but who are we going to give this petition to when we're finished?
Well, the American who's buying the cafe, and we can ask people to come to our protest meeting where they can meet all our Liverpool celebrities.
Hey, that sounds like it really worked, Gillian, but how are we going to hold these up?
Oh, well, we need some really long sticks or something to attach them to.
How about brushes?
Oh, David, that's splendid.
Don't get it, Scott. That's the 4th time I've rung the cafe. It's still engaged.
Do you think something's wrong? Perhaps we shouldn't have left Freedom Garden in the cafe.
Yeah, well, Gillian Anthony should be back by now. Bet it's that document business.
Yeah, it could be. But mind you, if that Gillian Paddy got on the phone, it would be engaged all day, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I will give another try, shall I?
Yeah, go on.
Engaged.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Tarbo. My name's Craig Bushman, why don't you? That's right, why don't you switch off your TV set and do something less boring instead? Oh, thanks, I'll tell them that. Is your husband in at all? Oh, isn't he? Oh, well, it's been nice talking to you anyway. Bye.
Well, what did she say?
Playing golf.
Come on, I just need this man called Archie. Excuse me, is that man Archie?
That's not Archie, this is Archie.
Oh, that's Archie.
Archie, it's a baldy.
Yeah.
Would you like to see him fly?
Yes, please.
Right, we'll go this way.
I get it now. His name's Archie, and he's a bald eagle. Archibald! So why won't he fly away then?
He won't fly away because this area is regarded as his territory. It's where he gets fed, it's where his home is, it's where his family is, so he's got no need to fly away. Here he comes. And we're on at last.
Can anybody handle him?
There's only a couple of us that handle him because we're the ones that trained him to fly. He regards us as his immediate family, so anybody else he doesn't recognise.
What type of things to feed him on?
The main thing that we feed them when we fly them is beef. We have to keep the birds at a regular weight, what's called their flying weight. Every day he eats 4 3/4 ounces of beef, and that keeps him at the same weight. And his favourite food in the wild is actually fish, but when we tried to fly him on fish, we found out that he preferred the beef instead. So I think we've got a funny bald eagle here.
So how do you train the birds?
How do we train a bird? The first step is to actually get the leather jesses on the ankles, fix them to the ankles, and then you can start walking it about on the glove. Obviously, if you have the bird loose on the glove, if it tries to fly away, you've lost it. You've got to keep it there. And every day, for about 2 hours a day, you do what's called the manning process. You walk the bird around, down the road and back into town and back, whatever, and you get the bird used to you. You form a bond between the pair of you, and you start a friendship. And you start feeding it on the glove, and it recognises you with the glove with the food, and you with the food. You're the provider for the bird, and eventually it will start jumping to the glove. That's when you've got to get the weight right. You adjust the weight till you find its keen weight, its flying weight, and you make it jump to the glove. And every day you increase the length more and more, and eventually one day you get very brave and you let it go free. It always recognises the call to the food, its own name. Every time I call Archie, he thinks, that means food, I'll come down and get it.
Can he see it from here?
He's about 1/4 mile away. If I held up a newspaper here, he would be able to read the small print of it. That's how powerful his eyesight is. They're very, very strong. They're 500 or 600 feet up in the sky. They can see every movement on the floor. It's very, very sharp.
So has Archie ever caused any problems?
He's never caused any problems except for frightening the rabbits around the fields rather a lot. He doesn't fly over too many populated areas because we're in a very wide open space here. So it's only usually us when he comes in too fast with the wind behind him. We're the ones that have the problems.
Do
you think it's a good idea for children to get them as pets?
It's not a very good idea at all. It's very, very specialised. We do it at the park for a few basic reasons. To get the birds fit enough to breed once they're old enough. He won't be old enough to breed for 3 more years. Also, we give people an open-air lesson in conservation. We can explain how to keep these birds alive in the wild, what everybody can do to help all the natural environment. So seeing the bird fly makes people realise just how special they are, and they then realise what they can do to help the birds.
Have you trained him since he was born?
I haven't trained him since he was born. He spent the first year of his life in Canada in a zoo where he was hand-reared. He's what's known as an imprint. He was hand-reared by humans, so if another bald eagle came along now, he wouldn't recognise it. He only recognised humans as the same family to him. He's imprinted on humans. He looks upon me as his mother now. He calls me Mum. Archie!
We shall not be moved. 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 Stop! We at ease and fall out.
These placards are brilliant, you never
I
have.
know, yeah, good,
Yeah, we've got the placards. All we need now is the petition.
Hey, and the people to sign it.
Yeah, I'll go and make one.
Oh,
no,
no,
I'll
David's
make
at the
them.
phone.
I'm on the phone.
Oh, he's on the phone.
Hello, can I speak to Sonia, please? We the undersigned. No, that's no good. We declare that the... No, that's too wordy. I promise that the... No, that wouldn't work either. Save our calf sign here. Now all we need is a sandwich.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's all right.
Shh! What's going on? It's Sonia.
No, I understand.
Singing Sonia. Pop star Sonia.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
What she said?
She said.
She'll do it! Yeah!